Now, weren't you the one who sent General Barker the brownies with the laxative filling? The other side, and then one of our kids needs it. Well, General Hammond will personally...
Have you ever wondered why some TV stars walk away from hit shows at the peak of their popularity? McLean Stevenson shocked audiences when he suddenly departed from m.a.s.h, one of television's most beloved series. While fans watched in horror as his character, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, met a tragic end, the real story behind Stevenson's exit is far more complex and heartbreaking than most people realize. Today, we're revealing the stunning truth about what really happened to McLean Stevenson and the decision that would haunt him for the rest of his career. The beloved commander who vanished overnight. When m.a.s.h premiered in 1972, McLean Stevenson quickly became a fan favorite as the lovable, easygoing commanding officer of the 4077 Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. As Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, Stevenson brought warmth and humor to a show set against the backdrop of the Korean War. His character was the perfect counterbalance to the more serious elements of the series, a father figure who cared deeply for his staff while maintaining a laid-back approach to military protocol. What made Henry Blake so appealing was his relatability. Unlike the straight-laced military types, Blake was an everyday man thrust into extraordinary circumstances. He preferred fishing to filing reports and often found himself caught between following orders and doing what was right for his people. Stevenson's natural comedic timing and genuine likability made the character instantly endearing to audiences. By the show's third season, m.a.s.h had become a massive hit, consistently ranking among television's top programs. The ensemble cast had developed incredible chemistry, with Stevenson's Henry Blake serving as the glue that held the 4077th together. Everything seemed perfect, which made what happened next all the more shocking. In the final episode of Season 3, Abyssinia Henry, viewers watched as Blake received his discharge papers and prepared to return home to his family. The episode was filled with emotional goodbyes and touching moments, as the character prepared to leave the war behind. But in the episode's final minutes came one of the most shocking moments in television history. Radar O'Reilly entered the operating room to announce that Henry Blake's plane had been shot down over the Sea of Japan. There were no survivors. The devastating scene was filmed without the knowledge of most cast members to capture their genuine reactions. The audience was equally stunned. Never before had a beloved character on a comedy series been killed off in such a manner. But the real question remained. Why would McLean Stevenson walk away from such a successful show in the first place? The Hollywood dream that turned into a nightmare. What many fans don't realize is that McLean Stevenson didn't leave m.a.s.h because of conflicts with the cast or creative differences with the writers. The truth was much simpler, and ultimately, much more tragic. Stevenson was ambitious. He wanted to be the star of his own show rather than part of an ensemble cast, even one as successful as m.a.s.h. I know I will not be in anything as good as this show, but I have to leave and be number one, Stevenson once admitted in an interview. This desire to step out of the ensemble and into the spotlight was the driving force behind his decision to exit the series. CBS, eager to keep the popular actor on their network, offered Stevenson exactly what he wanted, his own variety show called The McLean Stevenson Show. It seemed like the perfect opportunity to showcase his talents as both a comedian and host. Unfortunately, the show failed to connect with audiences and was canceled after just one season. Undeterred, Stevenson tried again with In the Beginning, a sitcom where he played a conservative priest. This show fared even worse, lasting only 5 episodes before cancellation. His next attempt, Hello Larry, became infamous as one of television's most notorious failures, limping through 2 painful seasons before being put out of its misery. What had seemed like a golden opportunity, leaving a hit show to become the star of his own series, had backfired spectacularly. While m.a.s.h continued to soar in the ratings without him, eventually running for 8 more seasons, Stevenson found himself struggling to recapture the magic he had left behind. The devastating aftermath of a career-defining decision. As the years passed and m.a.s.h continued its successful run, Stevenson began to realize the magnitude of his mistake. In a heartbreaking admission years later, he confessed, I made the mistake of believing that people were enamored of McLean Stevenson when they were enamored of Henry Blake. The distinction was crucial. Audiences had fallen in love with the character, not necessarily the actor. Without the brilliant writing and perfect ensemble setting of m.a.s.h, Stevenson struggled to find material that showcased his talents effectively. The psychological toll of watching his former show thrive without him while his own career floundered was immense. Friends reported that Stevenson became increasingly bitter about his decision. He would often make self-deprecating jokes about his career choices, but behind the humor was genuine regret. In one particularly poignant moment during a cast reunion, Stevenson admitted, "I've never been able to work with a group of people like this before or since." The statement revealed the depth of his regret. He had walked away from not just a hit show, but a once-in-a-lifetime creative partnership. Adding insult to injury, the manner of Henry Blake's death meant there was no possibility of returning to the show, even for guest appearances. While other characters who left m.a.s.h could potentially return for special episodes, Stevenson's character was permanently, irrevocably gone. The truth behind television's most shocking death. The decision to kill off Henry Blake rather than simply sending him home was controversial, even among the show's writers and producers. Some felt it was unnecessarily cruel, while others argued it reflected the random, senseless nature of war, a central theme of the series. What many don't know is that the idea came from Gene Reynolds, one of the show's producers, who wanted to demonstrate that in war, not everyone gets a happy ending. The scene was kept secret from most of the cast until filming to capture their genuine shock and emotion. When the episode aired, CBS was flooded with over 1,000 letters from angry viewers protesting the character's death. The network and producers stood by their decision, believing it added depth and realism to the show. In retrospect, many critics agree that this moment marked m.a.s.h's transition from a conventional sitcom to something more profound and groundbreaking. For Stevenson, however, the finality of Blake's death represented a point of no return. Unlike other actors who left successful shows, he could never go back, even if he wanted to. This permanence seemed to mirror his own career trajectory. After m.a.s.h, he would never again reach the same heights of success or critical acclaim. The final chapter, Regrets and Reconciliation. In the years following his departure from m.a.s.h, Stevenson continued to work in television, making guest appearances on shows like The Love Boat and The Golden Girls. He became a regular on game shows and talk shows, often using his failed career decisions as material for self-deprecating humor. Despite the professional disappointments, those who knew Stevenson described him as warm and generous in his personal life. He maintained relationships with several m.a.s.h cast members, particularly Alan Alda, who spoke fondly of him even years after his departure from the show. Tragically, McLean Stevenson died of a heart attack on February 15, 1996, at the age of 68. In a bizarre coincidence, Roger Bowen, who had played Henry Blake in the original m.a.s.h film, died the very next day. The dual loss of both actors who had portrayed the beloved character seemed like a final, eerie footnote to the story. After his death, many of his former castmates spoke about Stevenson's talent and the void his departure had left on the show. While they understood his desire to pursue other opportunities, they also acknowledged the special chemistry that had been lost when he left. What do you think about McLean Stevenson's decision to leave m.a.s.h at the height of its popularity? Was it a brave move to pursue his dreams, or a cautionary tale about the grass not always being greener? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video fascinating, please hit the like button and subscribe for more revelations about television's greatest shows and stars. And don't forget to check out our other videos about the mysteries and secrets behind your favorite classic TV series.